Hey guys, Sade here with Corpal Fitness, and today I'm going to show you how to design your own home workouts so that they actually give you results. You ready to learn? Let's go ahead. Okay, so in this very brief video, I'm going to give you 3 things that are going to help you really start to amp up and to increase the potential of your home workouts without necessarily needing any sort of weight or special equipment. You ready? Let's start with number 1, those 5 movement patterns. This is what we as personal trainers put together for you guys in all of your workouts. These movement patterns are necessary because they make it so that you train your entire body, so that you're not just training in one way. If you train in one way, you don't get results, you get bored, and you also risk injury because you're using the muscles over and over and over again in the same movement pattern. Now, these are the 5 movement patterns, the 5 main ones. We have our squat, we have our lunge, we have our pushing movement, and we have our pulling movement, and then we have rotation or twist. Now, with each of these movements, you want to incorporate them into pretty much every workout that you can. Now, the important part is to make sure when you're doing these movements, that you do it in a way that is most effective. Usually, we can do it 1 or 2 ways. The first way is you can really exhaust the body in one movement pattern. So let's say we just wanted to do pushing. So if we just wanted to do pushing, we might do something like push-ups followed by a pushing movement, like throwing a pillow or throwing a ball. Those movements together, and we could keep tiring out the body over and over and over again using those movements. Or we could do opposing movements. So that would be something like if we wanted to do a push-up, which is a pushing movement, and then a pulling movement, maybe a pull-up, we would have opposing muscles working, which is a little bit better in some ways because you don't get tired as fast. This is my preferred way to work, is to choose opposing muscle groups in different exercises. That way you're really not tiring the body, but you also don't need to have a long break in between exercises. So that's what I would recommend for that. Now, if you want more information on how to use these movements and how to do this, make sure you click in the description because there is a full workshop on how to design your own workouts. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is all about increasing the intensity of your exercises without necessarily adding weight. First, you can add instability. So that's going to be something like going from a lunge to going to a balanced lunge where your back foot is on top of a surface. That's a lot harder because you don't have the stability of the ground. Your muscles have to work more. And this is a great way as well to train the ankles and the legs, particularly important if you're a runner. It just works really well that way. So adding instability, making it harder to balance, is going to add intensity. The other thing that you can do is you can add range of movement or range of motion. So that could be something, for example, where let's say you do a bridge on the floor and you want to make it harder. Well, you can put your feet up on a chair or a sofa, and immediately that becomes harder because you've added range, you've increased the height of your exercise. So it's a really easy way to do that. Now, what happens if you want to add range and you want to add a little bit of instability? Then you get real results. So that would be taking the same example of that bridge. We're gonna go and elevate our feet on a medicine ball. And that adds our range and instability because a medicine ball shakes around. So you can see how you can start to make these movements more powerful. It doesn't take more weight, it doesn't take more reps. You can just get really creative with it. Now, the next thing that you can do, the third and final thing when we're talking about making intensity a little harder, is to add your isometric holds. So anytime you do a movement, if you add an isometric hold of 10 to 30 seconds, it's gonna be harder. So let's say you're doing push-ups and you wanna do 10 push-ups. Well, what you could do that would be harder is just do 5 push-ups, and then maybe you have a bonus one and you hold that push-up for however long you want. And that starts to add intensity. It makes you stronger. Now let's move into our final way to make your home workouts better, which is the blocking system. The beauty of the blocking system is it's going to give you a template that you can follow. So all you have to do is just plug and play. Now with a blocking system, it's basically this. We are taking a collection of exercises and we're putting them in blocks. And it's really easy. I usually recommend taking 4 exercises per block. And for a home workout, you don't need it to be super long. So maybe you just do 2 blocks. So we have 4 exercises in 2 blocks. That's 8 exercises total. And you can repeat those blocks however many times you want. I personally cannot repeat something more than twice. So I would only do twice. And if you develop it this way, you only really need to develop 2 to 3 different workouts, and you can just keep repeating them. Instead of every day being like, what am I going to do next? Oh, do I have to do this again? Do I have to do that again? Not nice. So hopefully this gives you some ideas on what you can do in making your home workouts better. Remember to check that description because you're going to see a full-on workshop to walk you through this stuff. I'm going to do a separate video where I tell you how to do cardio that's quiet and doesn't involve jumping. And then another video when I show you how to train the upper body and the lower body without weights. Guys, if you have more questions on home workouts or home fitness in general, let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao!